Hi everybody, this is Vipul Devecha. As a designer, I often get some questions as to, hey, can you show us some demonstrations, some things that you've done that I can see. So right off the bat, there's some photographs that recently I've been photoshopping, bunny ears that's appeared on the internet after, just whatever is popular. For example, and this is not it. Well, this is my friend Chintan. His photographs taken by Latoya Hammer, by the way. It's amazing photography. So what I've recently done is just take, I'm sure everyone's seen this man floating around on the internet. His name is Datta Fuge. He's a businessman. He's a moneylender from India, from this town. I kid you not, this town's name is Pimpri. And he decided that he would make a solid gold t-shirt, and cuffs, rings, necklaces, and everything. Cost him, I think, like $20,000 or something like that, some ridiculous amount of money. Yeah, it's solid gold, and he's figured that, hey, the ladies will not ignore my clothing. They may ignore my looks, and that's what he said, but not my clothing. Don't really want to get into the politics over that, but interesting shirt. So I figured I should take an interesting shirt with an interesting friend of mine, and who better than Chintan to volunteer his head for design. He unintentionally volunteered. One of the reasons why I chose Chintan was because it's somebody that I can relate to, somebody that I know. Oftentimes when I'll do a design practice for myself, I'll take an image that I kind of know, kind of work with it, especially if it's a new tool or a tool I'm brushing up on. So the tool that I was using was basically the Refine Edge tool in Adobe Photoshop CS6. It's a really easy and fast, cool update that Adobe Photoshop Creative Suite 6 came out with, that really makes it easier to do these amazing clean crops and cutouts. So what I started off with was this image. I kind of went through, did some Facebook stalking of Chintan, and found a lot of side profile heads to see which one would fit the best, with Datta's main image here. Just kind of went with it, and I found this image, so I went ahead and made a cutout of it, and saved the cutout as a layer mask file. So this is the cutout itself here. See if we zoom in, you can see that it's been really cleaned up. There's some gray areas, but that's okay. But the final image, from there, there's a pretty big difference. So it's really hard to get a lot of these fuzzy, fine areas, but the new selection tool in Adobe CS6 really helps you, refine those areas. So here's the cutout, and here's what it was cut out from. So then we take Chintan's image and we basically flip it. It's this, he's facing the left, but in the photograph he's facing right. And basically that is just a transform, flip horizontal. And that's what that is. Just going to undo that. And then in this image, it's basically, I didn't cut out Datta's image. It was kind of easier to just put it directly on top. What I did do was I enhanced the lighting, because I'm working with two different types of lighting sources. One's on Datta's, it's kind of like up in the top right area of his face. Chintan's is kind of in the center. So to kind of compensate for that and balance the photo out, I enhanced the photo and added where the light would kind of bounce off from his face and his body, more in this area here. And in Datta's, you can see the difference. There's brightness here, but in Chintan's it's a little dark here, just kind of compensate for everything. And if you're a designer out there and you think, you know, what I'm saying is a bunch of bull, you know, step right up and, you know, teach me. But you know, I do what makes sense to me as a designer. I learned how to use Adobe Creative Suite and, you know, Adobe Photoshop before there was Creative Suite, and kind of taught myself how to do it. I used a couple of books. I did have formal education in it, but you know, there's a lot of ways designers will work. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this photo. I made Chintan's head a little larger. I thought one would be a little funny, and two, it really stands out and makes the image pop, and makes them look really good. And we'll go ahead and look at the other image that I've been working on by Chintan. So everyone's probably seen this image. Let's go ahead and morph it into Chintan. See if he can come alive here. And there he is. So yeah, this is Chintan, and he wishes. So it was really important for me to keep the original photo's hair. So this hair here belongs to the other gentleman, and part of this ear belongs to the other gentleman. Part of this here actually does not belong to Chintan at all, this side. It's really his. As you see here, this is really Datta's ear. This dark part here is his Datta's. Just turn on the layer mask, as you can see here. So all this is just a layer mask. Again, you know, do a cutout of Chintan's face using the amazing tools in Photoshop, PCS6, and you can make a really cool cutout. But then you have to go ahead and compensate for the lighting adjustments. You know, you have to do a lot of enhancements, adjust the vibrance. You can adjust exposure. You have to adjust exposure on both the image you're working with and the image that's cut out to have everything kind of, you know, flow together. The original image for this one, just his clothing was a little lighter than this, but because Chintan's face originally was a little darker, kind of had to make the clothing a little darker as well, just kind of compensate for everything. So I hope you enjoyed this you know, process of how I create. Probably do another one where you actually see the cutout from the beginning and then paste it in. And if there's any questions, or if anyone's interested in having, you know, their dad or their ex-boyfriend, you know, head posted somewhere, you know, I'd love to do that. And I'm available for hire, obviously. Wouldn't have made this 8-minute video if I wasn't trying to get something out of it. You know, I'm a good Indian man, a good businessman, so you know, hope you enjoyed it and have a good rest of the evening. And it's a little bit of Pandora in the background. So let's morph him back. Good night, everybody.